hello, it's Gail Moffat here, and we're live on A1R Psychic Radio. Also, we'll be on Moonstruck TV, and you can find me on Facebook or my website, which is gailmoffat.com, and my Facebook account is Gail Moffat, Spiritualist, Medium and Teacher. I've got two accounts, and both of them, you can see that it's me. Anyway, so I thought we'd have a little chat tonight before we get going and having some callers call in. I think we're going to have two great callers coming in, which will be wonderful. And first of all, I want to talk about a journey. And this is a journey that at some point we will all have to make. And what will happen is we will have to cross over to the spirit world. And in my work as a medium, what it does is it highlights the evidence that there is a spirit world, because they come through me and talk to me and talk to you, your loved ones, your mum, your dad, uncle, sister, brother, auntie, grandparents, whoever that may be, or even a friend. And this is something that I think is a wonderful thing to be able to do, because in order to, in doing this work, what it means is I'm able to show people that there is a spirit world, that there is continuous life. And when we make this journey, often we are met by a loved one that has already gone before us. And they generally will assist us on that journey across. Sometimes we might have a pet that comes and joins us and helps us across. Because, like some of us, we love our pets more than humans. And there's nothing wrong in that either. And so when we get across, I think we've all heard of these examples where there may be a white light and we have to travel through a tunnel or over a mountain or across a lake. But whatever it is, it's a journey. It's a journey that we make. And once we get into the spirit world, all sorts of things are going to happen. And if I talk for a moment about once we've adjusted to sort of finding our feet and realising where we are, certain things are going to be different from this world. And the differences that you perhaps will see is that, first and foremost, we talk through our communication is mind-to-mind communication. It's a world of thought. So we think things and we're completely transparent, and somebody else will pick up that thought. Just as we have a thought in this world and that thought is transmitted across to the spirit world and they pick it up. So if you're thinking, I love you, Mum, and I miss you, Mum will pick it up. That's how it works. And so that's the first thing, that it's a world of thought. But what I really wanted to sort of bring in to the conversation is the Akashic Records. And this is something that often spiritualists talk about, and it's questionable whether this is actually sort of true or not. Personally, I believe that there is such a thing, because my guides have talked to me about these records previously within my work. And what happens is that the spirit world are so grateful for the journey that you've done, so grateful for the work that you've done on the earth plane, and have observed how much you've grown and how beautiful your spirit is. But once you get over to the spirit world, there needs to be a little bit of reflection. And this reflection is so important, because in this reflection, we're able to see perhaps where we've gone wrong, but also where we've gone right. And this information is all held within the spirit realms, and it's in what's known as the Akashic Records. And I'm sure that when each person gets over to the spirit world and they observe their Akashic records, there must be times where we think, oh, should I have done that? Or, oh, was that a good idea? I don't know. I don't know how we would have. I mean, each person is different. But certainly I think I would think, oh gosh, that was a mistake. And in that process of reflection and looking at it, we're growing even further. We're looking at ourselves in a more deeper way. But so we have the Akashic records, but we must remember that lots of healing takes place as well. And so, you know, we have to be ready for those records. Another thing that is quite important to consider is, because I mentioned to you, it's a world of thought. If you're somebody that perhaps, you know, treasures your house and your home and it's important to you, it may be that when you go to the spirit world, this is still given to you. And in your thought process, you will have that house that you want. And so this is something that is quite incredible, isn't it? You can think up a house. And I did think, well, maybe you could think out a clean house, couldn't you? You'd never have to do any cleaning. How wonderful is that? Anyway, I want to take some calls, and I know that somebody is waiting. Beth in Melbourne, Florida, USA, is ready. Are you there, Beth?
I'm here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm looking for answers about my love who died a year ago on Saturday, and if there's any messages for me.
So, sorry, what happened a year ago? I didn't quite catch that.
He died of a massive heart attack next to me in bed.
This was your boyfriend, did you say?
Yes,
your
my
love?
boyfriend, yes. Love of my life, yeah, absolutely.
Right, okay. This is... okay, I've got a gentleman that's coming forward, and he's saying to me that I went too soon. It's like I'm too young to go across to the spirit world. Yes,
he was 51.
Yeah, he's just because he's just saying those words. I went too soon, and I should have been. It's like he's frustrated that he was taken too soon, because I'm hearing that you two were at the stage in your relationship where you were making plans or talking about the possibility of doing something more with your relationship. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely, like being together forever.
Sorry?
We were planning to be together forever.
Yeah, it's like I know that there is that deeper commitment, and I don't know whether it was about engagement or marriage. I'm not sort of necessarily feeling that, but what I'm feeling
it wasn't either of those. It was just about being together till death do us part. We didn't want to be married. We had 6 marriages between us. We did not want to be married again.
Yeah, and I just got that feeling that there had been these conversations about bringing that really was concreting your relationship in a really serious way. And he's talking about that, and I feel that it's almost like I want to give you a ring, and it's like I want to give you a ring, and he's showing me actually getting down on his knee and giving you
really?
and giving you a ring. Now I know that you weren't talking about getting married, but he's literally just popped down on his knee in front of me and showing me this and sort of wanting to give you a ring, because he's saying if he'd have known what would have happened, with his passing so quickly, it's almost like he wishes that he'd taken that step and married you. He wishes he had, because he's saying to me that I feel that things would have been easier for you post his passing if you had been married. Does that make
that's
sense
true.
to you? Because I feel like there was sort of certain complications that meant that you weren't able to be as secure as you wanted to be because you weren't married. Does that make sense to you?
Totally makes sense. Yes, ma'am.
And so like he's getting down on one knee and saying, I would have married you. I really would, because I never wanted you to go through the things that you went through. He's saying to me, it's been horrendous for you, because also there's been other people within the family that have made accusations towards you that have been improper and incorrect.
Oh my God, yes, his family, yes. Yes, oh my gosh, it's such validation, absolutely, yes.
And he's witnessed it, and he's seen it all, and he's telling me this, and he's saying it's like he's outraged that people have been disrespectful to his feelings and the way he felt about you, because it was like you were everything to him, and he didn't want to be with anybody else, never, ever, ever.
Yes.
This is now, you probably you probably could just hear at the moment, but we're also videoing this call, and
okay.
I've got some lilies hanging over in the picture frame, and he's drawing my attention to the lilies, and he said, now I'm not a medium that sort of I'm not a medium that sort of brings in flowers, just because it's all a fluffy, nice thing to do. But I just feel that there's something to do with the flowers that are by the side of me, that it's like, oh, I know what he wants. He wants to pick them out of my vase and give them to you. That's what he's just saying. He said, he's saying to me, they're so pretty. Can I have them for my girlfriend? It's like, I want to give them. He wants to give them to you. And they're lilies. They're white lilies. And he says, he said that he just thinks they're incredible. And he's saying to me that he's a bit of a romantic, isn't he?
Yes,
I feel incredibly romantic. It's like I want to woo you all the time, like he's wanting to take my flowers.
That was my Tony. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. It's a bit like pinching flowers out of somebody's garden, though, isn't it? Taking my flowers.
Yeah, it is. He was amazing.
It's a bit cheeky, taking my flowers. But he's just like I always want to describe him as a romantic fool. He's not a fool, of course he's not, but he's just like romantic.
Totally romantic, and always wanted to make me laugh. Always.
Yeah, and I know with him that he it's like he would try and do little surprises for you, and I know that there would be some times where he would hide little things for you, so that when you went, say, in the cupboard or went to go and make a cup of tea or something, or did something, you might find some sort of gift or something that he'd left for you. Yes. Do you remember that about him?
Yeah, he was amazing. He was the love of my life. He was my soulmate. I'm sure that I will move on and love somebody else again at some point in time, but never on the level that I loved him.
But I'm going all tingly as you say that, and that's like him. He's agreeing with that. So I know that this is absolutely true. That he is feels that there's a strong spiritual connection, and I feel that you were meant to come into his life at the time that you did, because there was something about you doing something for him, almost like turning his life around and making a difference to him before he left this earth plane. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I'm so glad that I could do that for him, but he did that for me as well. Forever just got a lot shorter. It just got a lot shorter, so I had to deal with that.
But I just know that you helped him in many ways, and he says that I'll never forget what you've done for me, never ever. And he's just saying, please please believe me, I am around you in your life, and I do love you, and I'm so grateful that you were able to call in and speak through Gail.
I'm so grateful that you let me call in. I mean, that was amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Beth. As always, it's always very quick, isn't it? And I could speak with him, for ages, but but I've got another caller waiting. But thank you very much.
I understand. Thank you so much for your call.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Right. I've got Kelly in Michigan. Hello, Kelly. Oh, right. So I think we've lost Kelly, our next caller, but and our producer is trying to get her back. So hopefully she's listening and will come back, which will be good. Now that was quite interesting. One of the things that the last caller said, or rather. Her boyfriend in the spirit world said that was quite incredible was the fact that he wanted to reassure her that he's around her all the time, and I think that's just lovely. And not only that, he wants to pinch my flowers, so that's not so lovely. Anyway, let's go to Kelly in Michigan. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Great. How are you tonight?
I'm good. So, how can I help you this evening?
Oh, I just want to know what you see as far as future.
Okay. And is there anywhere in particular you'd like me to focus, or is there somebody in the spirit world that you'd like me to connect to?
Yes, that would be nice. Like, say, my mother.
Right. Okay. Okay, I feel that I have your mother here. So she's come in straight away, and she's quite emotional as she's connecting to you. I feel very emotional because she's saying that so much has happened since she's passed to the spirit world that I feel like there's a problem with the family. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
It's like the family has divided, or there's been divisions in the family, and certain people aren't talking to each other, and certain people are not friends, and it's all sort of a bit like that. Would you understand that? Yeah, and
yes,
and it's
I do.
like, and it's all happened since she went to the spirit world, and she's saying to me, I'm really quite. She's saying I'm so upset about this, because she's saying this never would have happened when she was here, because I feel like she was the pinnacle, she was the center of the family. It was like people, it's like people looked up to her and honoured and respected her. But once she'd gone, it just sort of all fell apart.
Exactly right.
And she's just wanting to say how upset she is about this, and she's carrying something in her hand and she's playing with it, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's sort of like, at first I thought it was money, then I thought it was like a worry bead, but it's something that she's playing with. So I'm assuming that this would be something that she would have had done in her life. It's like I'm playing with something in my hand. Would you understand that?
No, I don't.
Well, let me just.
Sure.
Well, don't worry. Let me just see if I can clarify it, because sometimes it's about me just realising what she's trying to do. It's just like she's just saying, it's like she's just playing with her hands. She's just saying to me, I'm just really worried. She's worried about certain family members, and worried that it's like because of the rift, there are certain family members that need other family members, but they're unable to,
right,
because of the rift, and it's like they're suffering as a result. and she's saying to me that you're. Would you understand being a little bit piggy in the middle with yourself?
Yes, I'm the one taking care of everyone. It's difficult.
Yeah, and because she's saying that you're a bit like piggy in the middle, and she's saying to me that she wants to congratulate you on sort of your efforts with family, and she sees you as the only one that can perhaps seal relationships and get relationships back together. But she knows it's a difficult task because this has gone on for some time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm going to the funeral, and I feel like there's even disagreements at the funeral. Would you remember that?
No, there wasn't any disagreements at the funeral. No.
And then it must be
her funeral?
Pardon?
Are you talking about her funeral?
Yes. Well,
yes, there wasn't any.
I'm seeing a funeral where there's some disagreements.
Yeah, it wasn't hers. Is it a future funeral?
Well, it may be that it's just she's just referring to after she was buried, and I just can see these disagreements, and I know that, and also there's somebody that's carrying a baby, like jigging up a baby in their arms, and so I know that there's a baby that's significant in the family. Does that make sense to you?
Not at the moment, but it may later.
She's talking about a baby that she's carrying the baby. She's carrying the baby.
Somebody else's baby?
It's like there's a baby in the spirit world. Would you understand that?
Okay. Yes.
Because she's standing there jigging she's saying, "I've got the baby."
Okay, that makes sense.
And
okay.
She's she's very good with the baby. Because I feel that she was somebody she's quite an organised lady and would get everything organised and correct and sorted out. But she's very good with the baby, is what I'm hearing. And I feel also that there's some animals in the spirit world as well. I'm being drawn. I don't know what it is. I can see something that's fluffy. But I know that there's an animal in the spirit world that's around her. She's telling me that she was quite an animal lover. She loved animals.
Yes. You're right.
And I know that there's a gentleman with her that's in the spirit world that stands by the side of her. And I'm hearing the word grandfather. So I feel that this is her father.
Her father?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
I never met him. He was deceased before I was born.
Okay. Well, she's just telling me that she's got her. She's standing next to this gentleman, and he is her father and your grandfather, and so it's like she's showing you that she's with other members of the family.
Okay. I wonder. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Did you have a question?
Well, my father passed, and I'm just wondering if it was him, and she's got the grandbaby, and he's the grandfather.
Could be. I'm just gonna look. No, this is her father. I'm quite clear about that. But I now your father is also there and coming through. Now he's somebody that he too was somebody that would have liked to have kept the peace. And so I know that their mission today is to talk about peace within your family, and he's very clear on that as well. And I feel that it's like they were quite a united front and would have wanted to stand strong in their marriage with decisions and things like that. Would that make sense to you? And
Yes.
And she's but he wants to say sorry to you about something. There must have been something somewhere where he wasn't there for you. It may be an occasion, or there's something about him not being there as a father when he should have been. I know. Can you hear me, Kelly?
Oh, yes, I can. I'm listening.
And do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
And he's
Yes.
just wanting to apologise, because he says, I know sometimes I didn't really show my affections and my love, but I do love you. I do love you, and I'm sorry for not always being there in the way that perhaps a father should have been there, because he knows that sometimes you've wondered whether actually does my father properly love me, and he's coming forward and saying yes, he does. And also I feel that there is somewhere in the family, there's an old black and white photo of your mum and dad together, and I feel it feels like a wedding photo. Would you understand that?
Yes.
It's black and white, and your mum is sort of laughing at the photograph, like, look at my hair.